The state leaders are looking at ways to take the Moda Center's renovation into their own hands, how they plan to raise the hundreds of millions of dollars to do it.
Plus, more than a dozen dogs and cats rescued from poor conditions, the conditions the animals were found in. Also ahead.
At PDX, we have a strict street pricing model that has been in place for many decades.
That's why prices at PDX are lower than what you'd expect at other airports. Why they follow that model, coming up.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Glad to have you with us on this Tuesday morning. Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis standing by with a look at the weather and traffic.
Hi, everybody. Well, we had showers yesterday. Today, we're all dry. We are dealing with fog areas, but as many spots reporting fog, we have that many saying no, we don't. And here's from the No We Don't department down in Salem, looking at our state capital, 41 degrees. You can see the cloud deck is low, so it's foggy up in the West Hills. Looking from our Rose City camera, but obviously that's good visibility on I-5 coming into town. 37 is the temperature out at the airport. Our planner moving forward, kind of a partly to mostly sunny day once we lose the morning fog and low clouds. 49 at noon. I have us up into the mid-50s in that 2-3 o'clock hour this afternoon. Here's Chris.
Okay, Rod, thanks for that. Let's get you out the door with a look at the roads. There's the traffic map. We'll give you the look from the ODOT cameras here. Come on. There it goes. Highway 26 out near the Sylvan Hills, slow and steady there. There's the low cloud deck there, kind of kissing the top of the West Hills, as Rod mentioned. Right now, we're looking at about a 26-minute commute to get you in from Hillsborough. Over on the east side, slow and steady on the westbound I-84 commute. And probably the slowest stretch of Portland real estate right now, the I-5 commute. From basically the Expo Center down to the Fremont Bridge. It looks like that for that 4-mile trek, and the drive time reflects that. 23 minutes right now in from Hillsborough, and the drive in from Clark County, 22 minutes now from Main Street down to the Fremont Bridge. Matthew?
Chris, thank you. We're new this morning. Canby High School grad Jackie Wiles is now a bronze medalist in the alpine skiing women's team combined event. She placed fourth in her portion of the competition. Her combined time with teammate Paula Moltzen, bringing the pair into third place behind Austria and Germany. Surprisingly, Breezy Johnson and Michaela Schifrin placed fourth. And happening in a little under an hour, the U.S. mixed doubles curling team is headed to the gold medal game for the first time ever. That's after an epic semifinal victory over the hosts Italy yesterday. Corey Dropkin and Corey Tisi now will take on Sweden later this morning at 9.
And just this morning, the U.S. has won 3 more medals for a total of 5. That's including a bronze medal from Canby High School grad Jackie Wiles during the alpine skiing women's team combined event. The home country, Italy, still on top there for overall total of 10 medals, followed by Norway, Japan, and Switzerland.
Meanwhile, developing this morning, both the city of Portland and the state appear to be ponying up in an effort to keep the Trailblazers here in Portland.
So lawmakers are unveiling a plan to raise hundreds of millions of dollars for a major facelift for the Moda Center. That's where we find Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz this morning. Thomas, bring us up to speed.
Yeah, guys, there is a lot to keep track of here. I want to start first with the state. Just yesterday, State Senate President Rob Wagner proposed legislation that would allow the state to own the Moda Center along with the city of Portland. Currently, the city is the sole owner of the building. The bill would create a funding plan for the $600 million Moda Center renovation the Blazers' new ownership group has been asking for. This comes after we reported the city of Portland is considering an investment package of $365 million for the building late last week if the Blazers sign a new 20-year lease agreement. The current lease is set to expire in 2030, leaving fans watching this situation closely.
I think it's important for our city's identity to have this.
You know, I'd be disappointed if they do leave, definitely. But yeah, I think they'll pony up. I think there's enough players involved that they can find the money.
The new ownership group is led by Carolina Hurricanes owner Tom Dundon, and it's worth billions of dollars between the ownership group overall, leaving some people to ask, why do they need more money?
Right now, I think it's a lot of smoke and a lot of leverage. I think the Blazers stay here. I think the state does the right thing. I think the city right now has got open arms, and the state does as well.
And John Canzano there adds that Best way to keep the Blazers here in town is to help grow the Rose Quarter here, add attractions and restaurants around the Moda Center. So far, city, county, state officials are all saying and doing the right things to keep the Blazers here in town. In a joint statement, they say keeping the Blazers in Portland is the top priority. Matthew, China.
Our Thomas Schultz reporting live this morning. Thomas, thank you. The city of Portland appears to have discovered yet another reserve of unspent taxpayer money. This time, a committee overseeing the arts tax says $8.5 million have gone unspent since the city started collecting the money. The arts tax is the annual $35 fee that most Portlanders have to pay. It's meant to support art teachers and local art nonprofits. And according to the report, the leftover money largely comes from the first year of tax collections. The city says that state budget law requires them to maintain sufficient reserves. But still, local organizations say they've noticed the money they get has dropped in recent years.
It's a bit of a shock. I think that everybody is happy that there is more funding to help buffer for a plan for the future to help support the arts and culture organizations in a more long-term solution. But I think that there is some concern about why we didn't know this prior to this.
I mean, there's just so many amazing organizations that are still struggling. To know that that money may be accessible is a great thing.
The city's Office of Arts and Culture says it's been in ongoing discussions since last spring on how to manage the reserves. That includes dipping into them to give out more money to keep the Arts Access Fund going.
The amount of unspent housing money that keeps being discovered inside Portland City Hall is now adding up to $100 million. It's money meant for things like affordable housing, homelessness, and rent assistance. This morning, we're hearing from the man in charge of city finances.
This is a key component in building trust and transparency with the public with what's happening right now as it relates to the housing fund. But this is just the beginning.
And you can watch more from the interview with the city administrator, including why he's not ruling out the possibility that there's even more money sitting unreported inside City Hall. You can find that on our KGW YouTube channel or streaming on KGW Plus.
And everything that we do as a primate center is moving towards a future where non-human primates are not used.
Following years of controversy, the future of the Oregon National Primate Research Center is looking more certain. The OHSU Board of Directors voted in favor of a resolution to open conversations about turning the research center in Hillsborough into a primate sanctuary. The vote followed hours of emotional public testimony on the impact of the center. Some shared stories of how the facility impacted their lives, emphasizing the importance of the center and the research it does. Others, such as animal rights group PETA, say the research being done on primates is outdated.
The only research we do at the Primate Center is research that has to be done in non-human primates or human subjects.
We've moved beyond using monkeys in experiments for science. There are more human relevant methods we can be using, and today is really just part of the move to start investing in those human relevant technologies and
OHSU will negotiate with the National Institutes of Health on the next steps for transitioning into a sanctuary, though keep in mind nothing is a done deal yet. It's just the start of the process. Meanwhile, we are getting more details on what led to a deadly crash that closed part of Highway 30 near Rainier last night. Oregon State Police say 2 vehicles were involved. They say there were serious injuries and a death, though they didn't provide any more specifics. Columbia River Fire and Rescue posted these photos that show a life flight helicopter. Highway 30 at Larson Road and Heath Road was closed in both directions as crews responded. We, of course, will keep you updated as soon as we learn more information.
In Benton County, new photos show a complex rescue operation after a logger was injured in the Elsie Falls recreational area. First responders were sent out just before noon Friday. They say the terrain and limited access made the rescue difficult, but the Oregon Department of Forestry and Monroe Fire District safely got the injured logger out and took them to the hospital. We don't know the extent of the injuries.
More than a dozen dogs and 6 cats are now at a safe spot after they were rescued from a suspected case of neglect. The Lake County Sheriff's Office served a search warrant at a property in Christmas Valley after a weeks-long investigation into reports from concerned neighbors. One puppy in critical condition was immediately treated for emergency medical care. The animals from this case are not yet available for adoption. You can find updates on the Oregon Humane Society's website.
Your time now is 8:09. Headed over to Rod Hill for a look at your weather and some snow.
Some snow. Yeah, this is the 14 inches that fell back yesterday, mainly Sunday night, and we had a few inches added to that on Monday. Anyway, it's all still there because the temperature is holding at 26 degrees, so that's good news. Passes are generally in good shape this morning. I mean, there might be some icy spots around, but the roadways will mainly be dry and clear during the day for your traveling. Here's the Salem tasting room camera. Not foggy here, but overcast skies. 38 degrees is the temperature, and we are generally above freezing this morning. You've got Battleground and Scappoose and Hillsboro at 33, but downtown Portland's at 41. There's Estacada at 32, and Salem downtown 41, or at least McNary Field. The temperature map for later today, pretty mild stuff again. We will be all dry. Cloudiness coming up from the south, kind of a partly to mostly sunny day expected. 50s at the coast, and the valley will be mid 40s to maybe nearing 50 in parts of central Oregon. This shows Bend 48 at 4 o'clock, and then 43 degrees out in Baker City. We're now on a dry run through Thursday. 54 today. More colder temperatures the next couple of nights. So more of us will get down to freezing. But 55 tomorrow, 52 Thursday. Showers develop during the day on Friday with the initial front coming in that's weak. And then rain at times over the weekend. I still think the temperatures could be low enough Sunday and Monday mornings that there might be a little period of radar showing a mixed bag of precip, but daytime highs into the 40s. Here's Chris McGinnis.
Intriguing. All right, let's get you out the door. I-5 through North Portland. There we go, up near Rosa Park. Slow and steady from there back towards the Expo Center. And we expect that this hour of a Tuesday morning commute. 21 minutes gets you in from Main Street south to I-405. Over on the other side of town, this is I-5 through Tualatin. There's your northbound slow and go action from Wilsonville up to the 205 interchange. Speeds pick up a little bit, then you hit the brakes again as you roll up into the Twilliger curves. And last but not least, over on the west side, inbound Sunset, slow and steady climbing the hill from 217 up towards Sylvan as well. There's a quick look at the Banfield. That remains pretty thick coming in from Gateway. Last check, 30 minutes gets you in from Troutdale west to the I-5 split. Matthew?
Chris, thank you. Well, the Super Bowl champs are back in Seattle and the celebrations have yet to end. They're only just getting started. How the 12s welcome the team back home.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The Super Bowl champions are back in Seattle. The team landed at SeaTac Airport yesterday, carrying the Lombardi Trophy with them. They were greeted by the 12s. Many of them were at the airport to see the buses carry the team to the Seahawks practice facility. They hung signs and cheered for their team. The 12s are considered some of the best fans in the league. They wanted to make sure that their team knows they appreciate what they accomplished.
I love that there's not any real ego that I find with this. You know, it's we as one.
We are part of the team. We represent. I personally want them to know that us 12s love them. This town is going to lose their mind, and the whole world knows who we are.
You win the Super Bowl, you get a parade. The Seahawks championship ceremony and parade in downtown Seattle is happening on Wednesday. You can watch the celebration live on our free streaming app, KGW Plus. Live coverage begins at 9 o'clock. The ceremony at Lumen Field starts at 10, followed by the parade, which is set to kick off at 11.
Well, I'm sure it'll be quite the celebration.
Yes.
Hopefully they have good weather for it.
I think it is going to be dry and with plenty of sun all the way up into Seattle. I'm visualizing the weather maps in my head, but I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Just
going to be nice.
Good.
Well, no, you visually look at all these maps, so then you kind of go visually and try to remember what you looked at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like your statement. You win the Super Bowl, you get a parade.
That's it.
It's the least we can do for you, right? All right, here's our satellite picture. One low spinning here. That's not going to bother us. This one pushing some rain shower activity into California. Not a ton, but some. It is responsible, that low, for throwing cloudiness. You can see it here moving south to north up across the area. Kind of a broken area of thin to mid high level cloudiness overall is what we expect. We have some fog pockets and some lifted fog for low clouds out there this morning. But we think, generally speaking, once we get into the day and the fog lifts, we'll be partly sunny to maybe even mostly sunny at times later today. Next chance of rain comes in on Friday. Now, this is a rain potential map for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday combo, so the 3-day period. Notice widespread precipitation, but no big numbers. In fact, this shows the biggest number, 63 hundredths in Astoria, and inland about a half of an inch of rain up in Kelso. I do believe these numbers may get larger based on what I'm seeing on the actual weather maps themselves. For your weekend, certainly rain at times both days on Valentine's Day, Saturday, and also on Sunday. This continues to be our sunniest camera of them all this morning. Seaside, beautiful morning, 40 degrees the temperature. Here's the fog up in the West Hills and a little wet on the ground. We've had some mist probably in some of these fog banks overnight into this morning. 38 degrees is the number there, so above freezing but chilly. Kelso Longview 36, PDX 37, Salem 41, 34 in Bend this morning, and then we've got below freezing temperatures with the exception of Pilton once you get out across the east. Our weather maps for today, believing, again, once we lose the fog in the low cloud deck, it will be partly to mostly sunny this afternoon. Mid-50s, Salem 55, light winds. Easterlies expected to pick up somewhat out of the gorge in proximity along the Columbia, 5 to 20 miles per hour perhaps. But otherwise, sunshine is coming after the early morning fog and low cloud mix. Shows 57 degrees. Can we be that warm in parts of Clark County? That's battleground. Our 7-day forecast. Again, dry through Thursday. Most of us have been above freezing this morning, but tomorrow we'll be closer to freezing and expecting 34 on Thursday. So that's in town. A lot of you will be freezing. Rain showers pick up during the day Friday, and then I've got us in the 40s for highs with the rain times over the weekend. Still believing that as early as Sunday morning, Monday morning, could be overnight temperatures nearing freezing with showers in the area. That would give us a chance of maybe a wintry mix showing up on radar to start the day. Here's Chris McGinnis.
When the kids get up early on a Saturday morning, look, it's snowing, it's snowing. Okay, maybe not. All right, over on the east side, I-205 over near Johnson Creek Boulevard. It's slow, but it's moving. Your drive from Clackamas north to the Banfield is puttering along at about 15 minutes or so. You hop on Interstate 84. There's the lineup, basically, from Gateway west past 82nd Avenue. That's still running a little thick. We'll take you down to Tualatin, I-5 through the 205 interchange. About as busy as it's been all morning. Right now, we're moving through that at about 20 miles an hour or so. And last but not least, over on the west side, there's the Sylvan Hill, Highway 26, kind of slow coming in from 217. Right now, your drive from Hillsborough, last check, 22 minutes. China?
Thank you, Chris. A second deadline has passed, and there is still no proof that Nancy Guthrie is alive. Where the investigation stands more than a week after her disappearance.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+. Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
But Denver's airport has a rule that stuff you buy there shouldn't be marked up more than 15% from prices you can find in town. But fortunately, that's not how things are priced here in Portland.
As Steve Stager with our sister station in Denver explains, there's one more reason to love PDX. It's because charging travelers the same price you'd find in the city.
A $4.55 coffee. That's a pretty good way to explore the teeth of DIA's pricing policy.
Our policy states that all concessionaires have to have pricing set at no more than 15% above street pricing.
Steve on Your Side found that coffee is $1.60 less off airport property, a 54% markup at the airport, not 15%. But Starbucks doesn't want to do street pricing, and DIA doesn't make them.
This is Starbucks airport corporate pricing across the nation. We, along with all the other airports in America, have approved this. Why? Because our customers want Starbucks and they're willing to pay the prices.
Not every airport.
At PDX, we have a strict street pricing model that has been in place for many decades.
In Portland, they don't add 15% to their street price.
People who travel through Portland pay the same prices here at the airport for snacks, drinks, meals that they would pay on the street.
That same cup of coffee is actually cheaper at the airport in Portland than it is in town. And it's $1 below the price Starbucks wants airports to charge.
I feel it's part of our values.
Chris Sarnecki manages concessions at PDX and says strict street pricing leads to happy customers. His airport is consistently near the top of customer satisfaction ratings. And those lower prices, he says, drive revenue.
When you know that you're paying street prices for food and beverage, you're more willing to go buy a gift for somebody on your trip. People here do know it, and we promote it.
Back at DIA.
We've never heard of that before.
Not too many people know about DIA's street price plus 15 policy.
I did not know that, no.
And it doesn't sound like the airport is willing to follow Portland's strict street pricing lead.
The important thing to consider is every airport is different.
I'm Steve Stager, Steve on Your Side, 9 News.
We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
In an update today's show, anchor Savannah Guthrie is once again pleading for help when it comes to finding her 84-year-old mother, Nancy Guthrie. That's after a second deadline related to an alleged ransom demand came and went without proof that Nancy is still alive. She vanished from her Tucson home just over a week ago. Detectives again believe Nancy was abducted in the middle of the night. In her new video message, her daughter Savannah urged the public to help.
So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement.
The sheriff's department says that it still doesn't have a suspect or even a suspect vehicle. The FBI is currently offering a $50,000 reward for information.
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
That was Ghislaine Maxwell's answer to every question asked by the House Oversight Committee yesterday. Maxwell's lawyer saying that she's, quote, prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump.
Now, the same day lawmakers had the chance to review unredacted Epstein files released by the Justice Department, but lawmakers say that there's still portions blacked out. Members of the House Oversight Committee continue to voice frustration and walking out with more questions.
What I saw that bothered me were the names of at least 6 men that have been redacted that are likely incriminated by their inclusion in these files.
The Justice Department responded saying all non-victims' names were unredacted. Next up this week, hearing with Attorney General Pam Bondi that some Epstein survivors say they plan to attend.
Well, coming up in the next half hour, American athletes using their Olympic platform to speak out on issues happening back home, what the president is saying in response. Plus, a dog show handler is crediting this year's Westminster winner with giving him strength over his Parkinson's diagnosis. We speak to him coming up at 8:30.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm Matthew Herchick. Lawmakers are unveiling a plan to raise hundreds of millions of dollars for a major facelift of the Moda Center. Yesterday, State Senate President Rob Wagner proposed legislation that would allow the state to own the Moda Center alongside the city of Portland. The bill would also create a funding plan for the $600 million Moda Center renovation. Over to Rod now for a look at the weather.
Thank you. Good morning to you. We are dry, minus maybe some misty spots in some of the fog areas. This was pretty foggy earlier, but now it's improved somewhat, crossing the Interstate Bridge from the Vancouver the Springs at the waterfront camera, 39 degrees there. Here's a look at some shallow fog with actually some blue sky up top. This is the Reserve Earnings and Golf Club out in Lowell, and this is one of the spots, not many, but a few of the spots that are down near freezing at 33. Moving forward, once we clear out the fog and the low cloudiness in some areas, will be partly cloudy, 49 at noon, and perhaps eventually mostly sunny. I have us 51 at 5 o'clock. Today's high 54. We're all dry through Thursday. Rain showers returning on Friday.
From athletes to coaches, volunteers, and tourists, Olympic pin trading is everywhere at the Winter Games. The tradition dates back decades, but really took off during the 2024 Paris Olympics, thanks to social media and athletes themselves getting more involved. Traders say that it's not just about finding the rarest pin, but it's also a chance to meet new people from other parts of the world. I think it started at Disneyland. Isn't it a Disneyland thing that people collect
This was a really big thing in my last day, actually. We had somebody that had gone to cover several Olympics, had all kinds of pins and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Lost them in a car accident.
Oh.
I know.
Tragic.
It was so sad, but
Yeah.
like, I mean, it was a huge thing. Like, he just loved collecting them. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big thing. It's a big deal.
It's kind of like the refrigerator magnets, but cooler. We do that.
Yeah.
We pick up the
We got
refrigerator magnets when we go on vacation.
Yosemite,
Yeah.
Multnomah Falls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we fancy. All right, here's a look at our Salem sky camera for you. Looking at the low clouds, but no fog right here currently. 41 is the early morning number. It's actually up 1 from where you were. Again, down low, good visibility, but you look at the low clouds over the West Hills, the fog, and kind of nipping down over the tops of the downtown high rises. 37 is the number out along the Columbia River. Our day moving forward, once we get rid of the fog and the low cloud deck from it, we think we'll be partly cloudy at noon, 49 degrees, and then partly to mostly sunny after that. 51 at 5 p.m. I've got us up into the mid-50s for a high. Here's the weather map at 4 o'clock, projecting 57 in Tillamook, 50s up and down I-5. Bend could hit 50 today, shows 48 at 4 p.m. And then again, cloudiness coming up from the south, kind of partly to mostly sunny skies, 43 out in Baker City. Our 7-day forecast, we are now on a dry run through Thursday. Overnight lows will be a little colder in the coming nights, better chance of freezing where you are. And then showers build in on Friday. And then while it may not be a soaking rain, I think it could be raining more than not Valentine's Day, Saturday, especially in the afternoon and night. And then also on Sunday with highs holding in the 40s. Here's Chris.
Rod, we are in the thick of our Tuesday morning commute. It is a little slow on northbound 205. This is over near Johnson Creek Boulevard there on the left-hand side of that shot. There's the northbound commute. Right now that drive from Clackamas north of the Banfield is up to about 16 minutes. So normal slow and go on that side of town. Over the west side, we have a fender bender that looks like it's been cleared to the median here on Highway 26. This is approaching the Sylvan Hill. And if you look closely right there, you can see some of the cars involved with that. There is some local slowing that extends to just east of 217. So a few extra minutes to get in from the west side. Not bad, though. 24 minutes gets you in from Brookwood Parkway to I-405. China?
Thank you, Chris. New overnight, a pedestrian is taken to the hospital with serious injuries after a hit and run in southeast Portland. This happened just before 10:30 last night on southeast 122nd Avenue and Woodard Place. Police say that the driver who caused the crash drove off, and anyone with information is asked to contact police.
And we are working to get more details on what led to a deadly crash that closed part of a highway, Highway 30 near Rainier last night. Oregon State Police say 2 vehicles were involved. They say there were serious injuries and a death, though didn't provide any more specifics. Columbia River Fire and Rescue posted these photos that show a Lifelight helicopter. Highway 30 at Larson Road and Heath Road was closed in both directions as crews responded. We will update you as soon as we get more information. A St. Helens man is in custody accused of plotting to kill ICE agents. Police arrested 19-year-old Raiden Coleman outside an assisted living facility where he works. According to court documents, Coleman was making payments to buy AR rifles and had gathered bottles and sand for Molotov cocktails. Authorities also say Coleman admitted to some of his plan. He is set to appear in court on Wednesday.
A federal judge in California has ruled that a new state law which prevents federal law enforcement officers from wearing masks to cover their faces unlawfully discriminates against those officers. The judge said that California unfairly targeted federal agents since state and local officers can still cover their face. The ruling also gave Democrats one win, letting a law requiring officers to show ID take effect. Meanwhile, lawmakers in Olympia are pushing to ban face masks for all law enforcement.
After a lot of reflection and heartfelt conversations with my family, I've decided not to seek another term as chair of Multnomah County.
It's been just under 2 months since Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega Peterson announced that she would not be seeking a second term. That means county voters will elect a new chair in November using ranked choice voting. Right now, only 2 candidates have publicly announced their bid to be the next leader of Oregon's most populous county. That includes current Commissioner Shannon Singleton, and just yesterday, Commissioner Julia Brim Edwards announced her bid for the role.
So we are just a few days into the Winter Olympics, and American athletes are already using their platform to speak out on political issues related to the Trump administration.
One of those athletes is Bend freestyle skier Hunter Hess. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us with more.
On Monday, the 27-year-old skier from Bend expanded on his comments that drew the ire of President Trump, who called him a real loser and hard to root for over the weekend. Here's Hess's comments that first sparked the president's backlash.
If it aligns with my moral values, I feel like I'm representing it. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S.
Hess took to Instagram yesterday saying, "There is so much that is great about America, but there are always things that could be better. One of the many things that make this country so amazing is that we have the right and the freedom to point that out." Earlier this week, figure skater Amber Glenn, who brought home gold, spoke out about how things are going for the LGBTQ+ community in the United States.
It's been a hard time for the community overall under this administration. It isn't the first time that we've had to come together as a community and try and fight for our human rights.
Glenn called the backlash for, quote, just supporting people outlandish, and says she will be stepping back from social media. A third Olympian, snowboarder Chloe Kim, was asked about Hess's comments and President Trump's response. Here's what she had to say.
I'm really proud to represent the United States. The U.S. has given my family and I so much opportunity, but I also think that we are allowed to voice our opinions on what's going on, and I think that we need to lead with love and compassion.
Kim added that it's important to unite and stand up for one another in times like this. Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
Legendary alpine skier Lindsey Vonn is still in the hospital after she broke her leg in a crash just 13 seconds into Sunday's race. Yesterday, Vonn confirmed that she broke her tibia and says while she's stable right now, it will take multiple surgeries to fix. The president of the International Ski Federation says he hopes to see her back on the slopes.
With this injury, I'm sure she will think very carefully about it, maybe not make a decision straight away. And I certainly hope that we'll see her competing very, very soon.
Meanwhile, Lindsey Vonn's father told the Associated Press, quote, she's 41 years old and this is the end of her career. Vonn tore her ACL in the Swiss Alps about a week before the race, but had done well in training runs. She says that injury had nothing to do with Sunday's crash.
And though the Olympics date back to ancient Greece nearly 3,000 years ago, the Olympics nowadays are very different.
That's right. Tim Gordon spoke with a University of Oregon professor about how the games not only bring big competition, but big business to the global stage.
The time has come for us to see the Olympic flame light up the sky in Italy for the 2026 Winter Games. It's an international sporting event running for 19 days with a massive worldwide audience.
It's huge. Every 4 years, every 2 now that the Winter and the Summer Games are off cycle, it's something that the world aligns around.
Lauren Anderson is director of the Warsaw Sports Business Center at the University of Oregon, where they study the Olympics. When it comes to marketing, the cost and reward for sponsors is extreme, with hundreds of millions watching. Some estimates put it as high as $3 billion across all platforms around the globe.
Sponsorship is big. I mean, Coke's the longest standing Olympic sponsor, and I think in 2028 it'll be 100 years of Olympic sponsorship of the modern games. So it's pretty big, right? And you don't sponsor a property if it's not working.
As viewers in between the sporting events, we'll see some pretty cool spots. This one from Airbnb.
Airbnb is a newer partner within the last decade or so. Obviously, as a travel company, they're adjacent to the games.
Anderson says partnering up with the Olympics is a long-term, expensive deal, and the Olympic brand is closely guarded. Those rings mean something.
The rings mean something. I mean, people pay a lot of money to use the rings. There are a lot of rules. They are very tightly guarded.
But companies from Omega, the official timekeeper of the Olympic Games since 1932, to Corona Beer are willing to pay the price to get so many eyes on their products and services associated with the Games. And for us here at KGW, an NBC affiliate, we're happy to be the ones you're watching for the Olympics and for other sporting events, along with the commercials.
This is a crazy month of February for sports, and it all seems to be happening on NBC. Super Bowl, NBA is back on NBC, NBA All-Star Game, 19 days of the Olympics. It's going to be great.
It's 8:40. Time to get over to Chris for a look at the traffic.
Got some trouble on the west side. New trouble, actually, guys. Let's zoom in real quick. This is I-205 northbound near Denny. It looks like TVF and Arch just showing up on the scene here. Northbound left lane blocked, and traffic right now is backed up about 1.5 miles around this. So that's our first big slow spot of the morning commute. Elsewhere, still dealing with this earlier fender bender on the Sunset inbound as well. This is climbing the hill from 217 up to just west of Sylvan. It looks like that left lane still partially blocked. So that is adding to a little bit of local slowing there. The drive through Tualatin still kind of thick as well, of course. I-5 north now right now. It's just shy of 30 minutes to get you in from Wilsonville. China?
Thank you, Chris. This year's Westminster Dog Show winner is giving her handler more than just a prestigious title. Now she also gave him strength to compete.
Hey everybody, here at ShopTVDeals.com, we love to bring you products out there that are actually going to make your life better. Let's keep it real. All of us have our entire lives on the phone these days. All those videos, all those photos, all of those memories, and you don't want to lose it because of a lost phone or a storage issue. So check this out. A small but mighty device, the Click Free Pro. It's so easy to use. Let me show you what to do. First, you download an app on the phone. Just takes a minute or two, super easy. Then you connect the device to your phone. It has all kinds of adapters here, so no matter what you have, you should be good. You open that app, and literally, with one touch, you start backing up all of those photos, which is a big help for people like me, because I got 15,000 photos in this thing. Also, not just about storage here. Think about all those old photos in your home, whether it's in an album like this, or just photos in a shoebox somewhere. There's a scan function on this app as well. So you literally can take one of those old pictures, use the app, scan it, and you'll never lose that image again. This does so much. It's absolutely amazing. No membership fees, no subscriptions, so it's super easy and will save you a lot of problems. And on top of that, 50% off. We have an amazing deal. Normally this would cost you $200. Today you get it for less than $100. So scan that QR code at the bottom of your screen or check us out online at ShopTVDeals.com. Back up those photos now. Don't lose them.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
A local show dog handler from Brush Prairie and his Doberman Pinscher took the top prize at the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show last week.
It was the second win for Andy Litton. His last one came in 1989. Andy Litton has been showing dogs for more than 40 years. He won this year with his 4-year-old Doberman Pinscher named Penny. He calls Penny the best dog he's worked with and says that she helped him overcome pain and discomfort in recent years. A couple of years ago, Linton was diagnosed with Parkinson's and credits Penny with giving him the strength to push through shows and win.
That trip around the ring running, I felt like 30 years ago. and just the high I was feeling. I felt like I had, thousands of friends in the stands supporting us.
Penny retired after the show and lives with her owners in Canada. As for Linton, he's going to take some time off, vacation, and hopes to continue showing dogs.
It's 8:45. Rod Hill is standing up on the roof.
It is, by the way, just a vest on. Bad call on my part.
Hey, it sounds a little windy, Rod.
Can you hear that? Yeah, it's
chilly.
Yeah. That's an east wind. I feel kind of slam on my backside. We talked about easterlies picking back up out of the gorge a little bit. That apparently is happening. I've got fog in the West Hills in front of me. Otherwise, it's kind of a low overcast blanketing the city. We're up here on the weather deck, brought to you by Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking. Our first map, something that I talked about yesterday. I just want to show you that this is still on track. From this Friday, a front comes in on the 13th and all the way through the 21st. NOAA, the blue areas, the blue color on the west coast, showing that we will at least be getting into a below normal temperature pattern. And as I said yesterday, that nobody's promising you an Arctic blast or a big snowstorm, but we are talking about temperatures cooler than they have been, and that will bring us more mountain snow and less rain to the Cascades with approaching storm fronts starting this weekend. So that's good news. Right now we have the fog in the low cloud areas. We think a lot of this will be clearing out, and the cloud you're seeing on the satellite picture should be thinning. This is cloudiness coming up from California. So we think later on today it's partly sunny to maybe, especially as you head north, mostly sunny skies. Okay, our first rain chance shows up on Friday, and this is rain potential for the 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now notice, over 3 days, these numbers are quite low, right? No more than about a half of an inch of rain in the wet spots in a lot of areas up and down the I-5 corridor. Portland, Salem, maybe closer to only a quarter of an inch of rain. I do believe that those numbers might start to get larger as we get closer to the fact. Again, the rain chances returning on Friday and continuing this weekend. There's the Chehalem tasting room camera, what I call the barn camera, looking pretty this morning. A little bit of sunlight coming through the cloud deck, 39 degrees. Again, it's a chilly morning. Most of us have remained above freezing. Been a few freezing spots. There's Kelso at 36 right now. Again, our capital city's at 41. The Dow's currently above freezing at 36, and it's 31 degrees out in Burns this morning. Our forecast numbers, a cloudy, foggy start, but we think partly to mostly sunny skies will be developing during the day, and this shows Salem warming up to about 55 degrees. Southwest Washington numbers also up into the 50s. There's that east wind that I currently feel chilling my backside up here on the weather deck. Our 7-day forecast, yeah, we're dry through Thursday, 54 today, 55 tomorrow. There's the rain showers and only in the 40s as we get you into Valentine's Day weekend. It is birthday time. We have the biggest birthday party we've had in a while. It starts with Etzel, who is 3 today. Happy birthday to you. And then Zachary also, the big 3 turning birthday party. Happy birthday. Trevor's 10 today. Hope you have a wonderful day on your birthday. And then we have Charlotte and Caroline, 11 today. Happy birthday to the 2 of you. Also celebrating is Elena, who is 12 today. Pretty shot out there with the wild flowers, the field. Skylar's a teenager, 13. Happy birthday to you. And celebrating today is Emmy, who's 14 years old. Hope you have a fun day today. And we're happy to celebrate with Diego, who's 24 today. Happy birthday. And we have more. There's Carol, who is 88 today. Happy birthday to you, Carol. Hope you have a wonderfully fun day. That's our list. Send us your photos to birthdays@kgw.com, and we will celebrate with you. Chris McGinnis, it's chilly up here, sir.
Yeah, somebody needs to tell the weatherman to dress for the elements. All right, let's go ahead and pick it up on the west side. We do have some trouble right now. Northbound 217, just north of Denny. We had an earlier crash here. The left lane was blocked for a little while. That's been cleared to the shoulder, but you can see here that northbound commute's running really slow. I'll take you back to Greenberg Road. We're moving along northbound at about 7 miles an hour. So as you hop on the west side freeways, just know that that's going to take you a few extra minutes to navigate around that. I-5 through the Terwilliger Curve still a little thick as you head northbound towards the Markham Bridge. Right now, that drive in from Wilsonville is averaging about 30 minutes. 26 minutes gets you in from Troutdale. And last but not least, the drive out of Clark County improving. In fact, the end of the line on I-5 has made its way down to about Columbia Boulevard. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
In a wrap of our top stories this morning, lawmakers are unveiling a plan to raise hundreds of millions of dollars for a major facelift of the Moda Center. Yesterday, State Senate President Rob Wagner proposed legislation that would allow the state to own the Moda Center alongside the city of Portland. The bill would also create a funding plan for the $600 million Moda Center renovation. A committee overseeing Portland's art tax says $8.5 million have gone unspent since the city started collecting the money. The arts tax is the annual $35 fee that most Portlanders have to pay. It's meant to support art teachers and local art nonprofits, according to the report. The leftover money largely comes from the first year of tax collections. And Canby High School grad Jackie Wiles, now a bronze Olympic medalist in the alpine skiing women's team combined event. She placed fourth in her portion of the competition. Her combined time with teammate Paula Moltzen, bringing the pair into third place behind Austria and Germany.
And your 7-day forecast, a chilly east wind into downtown right now. I would suggest a fairly decent coat. 54 degrees. I was just up on the deck and I was cold. 54 degrees today's high. We do believe it brightens up this afternoon for a nice Tuesday.
He knows from experience. Let's pick it up on the drive right now. 217 northbound, still running a little thick between 99W and Denny because of an earlier crash. The crash is clear of the backup. You can see there in the upper left and right hand part of your screen still remains. Other drive times are dropping, so that's good to see.
And finally here this morning, some local police canines were keeping fans safe at Super Bowl 60. Look at that. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office posting this picture of canines Brando and Jackie along with their handlers, Deputy Wolf and Officer Barry at the big game. So look at them.
Oh, look at the sweet boys.
They're very cute.
Like a Cocker Spaniel or what?
Yeah, what kind of dogs are those?
I mean,
cute one.
I always thought of
like
German
police
dogs as German Shepherds,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, they've really expanded their
They have.
their list of service companions.
Brian Matthews saying German short hair on the right, our director.
That makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
What's the one on the left?
Right. Oh, on the right. Okay.
They both look the same.
Oh.
Yeah,
They're the same breed.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go.
Smart dogs. Smarter than us.
I was gonna say,
that's probably why they got to go to the
smarter
Super
than
Bowl.
us. Yeah, no kidding.
I would just go up and hug them. But I think
They
can't do
You're
that.
not allowed to do that.
Well, come on.
I would say, though, if I'm stationed outside during the game, I've got to investigate something on the 50-yard line inside, investigating the 50-yard line inside the stadium, and I would go in and watch the game.
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, you would say something needs to be investigated by the food carts.
Yeah.
Behind the food carts.
First.
True, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, just a reminder that you can watch this unfold whenever you want, exclusively here on KGW Plus starting at 7 o'clock. And we have also added another half hour of news at 12:30 and 5:30 right here on Plus. We hope to see you then. Have a great Tuesday.